Okay, Merry Christmas, everyone. Thanks for joining me. So you can start in a nice, comfortable seated position, and I'm gonna start the music now. So you might hear it a little bit in the background, but I would push play on your playlist now if you're listening along with it. So just find yourself in a nice, comfortable seat. Start to kind of settle in. Maybe you've been up for a long time, like some of us here, if you have children. Or maybe you're just kind of getting moving. But let's just slow down for a moment and just arrive here in the present moment. So find yourself in a seat. Allow yourself to be still. And feel your tailbone on the floor. Feel energy rising up from the ground, up your spine, to the crown of your head. And maybe you close your eyes for a moment here and just notice your breath. Taking a deep inhale and a long exhale out. Breathing into the base of your belly as if you were pouring water into the bottom of a glass, filling it all the way up. And then sighing it out. One more time here, biggest breath of the day. Inhale and exhale out. And if your eyes were closed, you could start to flutter them open. We'll just start to do some gentle neck movement here. So bringing your ear toward your shoulder and then rolling your chin forward down toward your chest and over to the other side. So find whatever movement feels good for you here. Allow your shoulders to relax down your back while you're doing this. And try to open your heart, broadening through your collarbones. And then pause when your left ear comes toward your left shoulder. Just pausing here for a moment. Really relax that right shoulder. Notice if you're holding tension in your face or maybe in your belly or hips, and try to release it. And then roll through the middle, right ear comes to right shoulder. Releasing that left shoulder down. And then bringing chin to chest. Lengthen the spine, bringing the belly button toward the spine. Feeling the back of the neck and the shoulders open here. And inhale back to center. We'll start to bring our hands up and around to touch at our head, above our head. Again, relax those shoulders here. Maybe you look up and find a little tiny back bend of your upper back. Big breath in, and then exhale, float your hands down. We'll do that 2 more times. So big breath in, bringing your hands up, gazing up at the hands, mini back bend. And exhale, release. Last time, bringing your hands up, gazing upward, big breath in. And this time, twist to the right as you bring your hands down, bringing your left hand to your right knee. Right hand comes behind you. As you breathe in, lengthen your spine. And exhale, twist toward the right. Maybe you look over your back shoulder here. Belly is soft, shoulders back and down. Inhale your arms back through center and exhale to the opposite side. Opposite hand comes to knee. Gazing over the back shoulder here. Sitting up tall as you breathe in and twisting a little deeper as you breathe out. And then inhale your hands back up And we'll come into a really gentle forward fold. So letting your hands come down in front of you. Maybe you walk them out. Sometimes one of my teachers used to always call this the slide and glide, as you're kind of sliding side to side and gliding forward. So find some stillness here. Maybe you drop your head and curve your back a little bit. You can come up onto your fingertips and feel your armpits lifting up, elongating the whole back body. And then walk your hands back and just switch your cross of your legs, and we'll do that once more on the opposite side. So inhale, arms rise up. And exhale, start to fold forward, really folding from the hips here, keeping your hips nice and grounded. Feel your legs melting into the earth. Big breath into the back body. And side out. And as you inhale again, start to walk yourself back up. And we'll come onto all fours into a tabletop position. And we'll start to find some cat-cows here. So setting yourself up, make sure your hands are right underneath your shoulders, knees under your hip points. And you can have the tops of your feet flat, or you can tuck your toes, whatever is more comfortable for you. And as you inhale, drop the belly, lift the chin, open up your heart for cow pose. Exhale, rounding your spine, tucking your chin in, push away from the floor. Inhale, curving your spine for cow. And exhale, rounding for cat. Do 5 more on your own breath. Maybe you're moving with the music. Maybe you're bringing a little side to side movement in, or doing some hip circles here. Find what feels good this morning. Waking up that body, bringing joy into your practice. That's the nice thing about a home practice. You can kind of move however you want, no judgment. One more breath, and then returning to neutral. And we'll inhale and lift the left arm nice and high, opening up, stacking your shoulders, maybe do a couple wrist circles here. And then as you exhale, thread the needle, bringing that left arm between the opening in your right hand and right knee, bringing your left shoulder down, left ear to the ground. Try to straighten out your hips so that they're nice and even, still stacked over your knees. And release into the mat, feeling your shoulders opening, pushing the top of your hand into the ground. Take a few deep breaths here. What are you releasing? What kind of stress needs to get going this morning? If you want to go a little deeper, you can reach your right hand out in front of you, or you could bring it around to clasp behind your back, opening that shoulder. One more breath in. As you exhale, bring your hand back to frame your face, pushing through the right hand, lifting up for a counter stretch. And then coming back down to tabletop. Go through one round of cat-cow to just reset here. And then we'll lift the right hand up toward the sky. Stretch that wrist and those fingers out. And then thread the needle. Straightening out your hips. Feeling your shoulder and your side of your face melting into the ground. Maybe you walk that left hand out in front of you, or maybe it comes around your back. Notice if you can relax the shoulders. Maybe you're clenching your jaw. Just notice where that tension shows up. One more big breath in. And exhale, bringing your hand back next to your face, pushing into the left hand, lifting up for a counter stretch. Okay, coming back into one more cat-cow here. All right, now walking up so that you're on your knees and actually grabbing your strap if you have one. So I'm going to turn to the side here, but we're just standing up on the knees here. So we're going to do a little shoulder flossing to kind of wake up our shoulders here. So you want your strap to be nice and wide in your hands. And just start to bring it up and over around your head. Try not to lock your elbows here, so find a little bend in the elbows and just open up those shoulders a bit. See if you can still grow your spine nice and long. We're holding in the low ribs, extending up and away from the pelvic floor here. One more time. Okay. And now we'll come into a half cow face pose. So taking your strap in your right hand, bringing your hand up and over so it's behind your back, and your strap is kind of hanging down behind you. And then with your left arm, you're going to bring it around and hold onto your strap here. You can start to kind of inch your hands more toward one another. Think about pulling your elbows away from each other while also relaxing the shoulders down. This is a really dynamic pose. Again, see if you can let any tension melt away. Find that length in the spine so you're not curving your spine. You want your spine to be nice and tall and supported, strong here. And if you're feeling a lot of tension, maybe you just ease up a little bit. Maybe you play with looking up, smiling. And then maybe you play with folding forward a little bit here. See what that does in your body. Bowing to the earth. And then breathe in, nice and gently release. Shake it off a little bit. And we'll take it to the other side. So taking the strap in your left hand, bringing it up and around your back, and taking your hand to meet the strap. And notice if there's a difference. Maybe this side is easier, maybe it's harder. Feeling your elbows pull away from each other, north and south. Shoulder blades are drawing together and down. Soften your neck, soften your jaw here. Big breath in, maybe looking up. And then exhale, bowing toward the earth, feeling that stretch in your whole back. One more breath here. And then inhale back up and release. Shake it off. Okay, nice job. So you can put the strap off to the side for right now. And while we're kneeling, we're going to do a little gate pose. So stay kneeling with your left leg and bring your right leg out to the side. So your foot can come flat, toes can either point away from you or toward the front of your mat, whatever is more comfortable. And we'll inhale, lift the hands up. Exhale, dropping the right arm toward the right leg and bending over to the side. With your left hand, you want to draw your thumb back so you're keeping your heart nice and open here. And then maybe see what feels good in your neck, looking up at your top hand or down at the ground. One more breath. And as you exhale, bring that left hand down to plant on your mat. Right hand comes up and over for a nice opposite stretch all along the right side of the body. And you could draw that right thumb back to open up almost to like a supported wild thing here. One more breath in. And then exhale, come on back, walk yourself back up to your knees. And we'll go to the other side. So stretching your left leg out. Try to get that foot as flat as possible. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, dropping the left hand, bending over toward the left side. Relaxing the shoulders. Strong in the core here. Maybe you look up toward the ceiling and then down toward the floor. Get that neck loosened up here. One more breath in. And exhale, drop the right hand to the mat. Stretch all along the left side body. Maybe you push your hips forward. Get the front of your body a bit. And then come back on to all fours. We're gonna tuck the toes here and do a couple little warm-ups to get ready for our down dog. So you're gonna make sure your elbow creases are pointing forward just a little bit. Elbows have a slight bend in them, pushing through the hands and the fingertips so that we're really supporting our wrists here. And then engage the core and lift your knees just an inch off the mat, holding here for 5, 4, 3, 2, maybe it's burning, you got this, 1, and lift your legs high, your hips high, find your downward dog. First down dog of the morning, maybe not for you, but pedal it out, bending into one knee and then the other, drawing your chest toward your thighs. Allow your head to be heavy, maybe shaking it yes and no. Opening up through the collarbone here. A little more movement. And then find some stillness. Bend your knees and then drop your heels back behind you. So your knees are starting to straighten out. You should feel this stretch through the whole back of the legs. Make sure you're pushing into your whole fingertips. And then bend your knees and look forward and take a million little baby steps to the front of your mat, nice and slow. And move your feet so they're mat width distance. Bending your knees generously, we're gonna find a ragdoll pose here. So forward fold, maybe you grab opposite elbows. Sway side to side. Again, feel any energy you don't need being transmuted into the earth. Big breath in. Exhale. And as you inhale, start to lift up halfway. Find a nice flat back here. Hands can come to your shins or your knees. Drawing your shoulder blades toward one another. Our legs are still wide here. If you want a little more heat, you can reach out, bringing your arms by your ears, engaging the core. Drawing your shoulder blades back still, holding for 3, 2, 1. Take a big breath. And as you exhale, release to forward fold. And then inhale, nice and slow, root to rise. Come all the way up, bringing your hands together overhead. And exhale, hands to your heart. Walk your feet together so they're hips width distance now. Maybe close your eyes for a moment. And just set an intention for your practice, for the rest of your practice. What is it that you need in your life today? Maybe you want to notice gratitude and be grateful for all that you have. That's my intention for today. Maybe yours is something different. So picture yourself in your mind fulfilling your intention. And then we'll take a big breath in, swooping our hands to the sky in celebration. And then exhale, palms come together, forward fold, reaching down to the earth. Inhale, lifting up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root down through your heels, rise on up, lifting the arms high, palms kiss. Exhale, hands to the heart. Inhale, arms rise. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold, plant your hands and step back into a high plank. You can drop to your knees if you want to, or you can stay in your high plank for a moment here. Holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop to your knees, shift your weight forward just a little bit and lower onto your belly. Coming down to the tops of your feet. Hands are right underneath your shoulders by your high ribs. And inhale, lifting up into your baby cobra, drawing your shoulder blades together, neck is nice and long here. Tops of your feet pressing into the mat. And then exhale, release. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, release. One more time, inhale, rise on up. Maybe you come up into a full cobra. And exhale, release. Pushing yourself up through tabletop. Tuck your toes and find your down dog. And then maybe you sway with the music, bending into one knee and then the other. Moving your torso side to side a little bit to really stretch out your mid and upper back. And as you find some stillness for a moment, then we'll inhale, lift the right leg high. Exhale, bring your right knee to your right elbow. You can do this on your knee if that's more comfortable. So inhaling, lifting the leg high. Exhale, right knee to right elbow. Inhale, lifting high. Exhale, right knee to left elbow. Inhale, lift. Exhale, knee to center. We're gonna do that one more time, you got this. Inhale, lifting your leg. Exhale, right knee to right elbow. Inhale, lift. Exhale, right knee, left elbow. Inhale, lift. Exhale, step your foot through between your hands to plant. Coming into a runner's lunge here. Feeling your back heel drawing back. Right knee is stacked right over your elbow. See if you can bring your weight into your legs here and try to start to soften with your hands. And when you feel supported by your foundation, we're going to rise on up into our high crescent lunge, Anjaneyasana. Bending both knees just a little bit. Drop your shoulders. Big breath in. And then exhale, rotating and opening up into warrior two. So back foot is parallel to the back of the mat. Arms are reaching front to back, east to west. Keep that nice bend in the front knee. Our gaze comes out over our middle fingers here. Okay. Now we're gonna inhale, flip your front palm, and exhale, come into a reverse your warrior. And then let's do some more shoulder rolls. So almost like you're really wailing on a guitar here. Moving your arm nice all the way around. Feel that music. Keep that bend in your front knee here. One more time. And then reach back up. Nice and smooth, reaching forward. Right forearm comes to right thigh. Left arm comes up and over. And we'll do the same thing. Bring it around. Moving your shoulders, moving your arms in a nice wheel. And then inhale back to your warrior two. Flip your front palm. One more time, reverse your warrior. Come back through warrior two. One more time, extended side angle. Back to warrior two. Okay, straighten the front knee. Don't lock it, keep a tiny bend in it. And you're gonna shift your hips back, find that attitude, shift them back, reach forward as far as you can go, and then tick-tock your arms up and down, finding a triangle pose here. If you have a block, you can grab that for support, or you can hold on to your shin or your thigh. One more breath in. And then exhale, bend into the front knee, find your warrior two one more time. And then cartwheel your hands down to frame your foot. Coming back into your runner's lunge for a moment. Plant your left hand and lift your right hand high to the sky for a twist. And again, you can always drop down to your back knee if you need to here. One more breath in. And then exhale, plant your hands, step that foot back, coming into your high plank. High to low, shifting your weight forward, lower all the way down onto your belly. Pause here for a moment and breathe. Good work. Okay, inhale, baby cobra. Exhale, release. Inhale, baby cobra. Exhale, release. Inhale, baby cobra. Exhale, release. Pushing through tabletop. We'll meet in down dog. Okay, and you know we got to take it to the other side, so let's go. So again, you can do this down on your knees if that's more comfortable for you. So we're going to inhale and lift the left knee this time. Exhale, left knee to left elbow. Inhale, lift. Exhale, left knee, right elbow. Inhale, lift. Exhale, left knee to center. One more round. So inhale, lift. Exhale, left knee to left elbow. Inhale, lift. Exhale, left knee to right elbow. Inhale, lift. Exhale, left knee to center. Stepping your foot through to plant between your hands. Finding your balance here. Really drawing your thighs toward one another so your hips are squared. Start to get light on your fingers. And when you feel ready, lifting up into your high crescent lunge. Dropping the shoulders, really opening the heart here. Feeling yourself drawing down through the ground. Big breath in. And exhale, open up into your warrior two. Moving your hips. So your hips are open to the right. I'm going to turn around so you can see me. Your hips are open to the right. Left knee is forward and bent. Okay. Gaze is out in front of your middle finger. One more breath here. And then flip that front palm, scoop the sky, reverse your warrior. Keep that bend in the front knee. And then let's do those shoulder rolls again. Like you're wiping your aura clean, bringing some joy into your practice. One more breath in. Exhale, bringing left forearm to left thigh. Right arm comes up and over. Pausing in your extended side angle. And then wailing on that guitar. And then arm comes up and over, and you inhale back to warrior two. Flip the front palm, reverse your warrior. Big breath in. And then exhale, extended side angle. Inhale, come back up to warrior two. Straighten the front knee. Kick out that hip. Reach, reach, reach until you can't go any further. And then tick-tock your arms up and down. Find your triangle pose. Strong in the core here. You can probably hear me straining. My core could use some strength after all the chocolate I've eaten this week. One more breath in. Bend into the front knee. Find your warrior two. Cartwheel your hands down to the mat. Bringing your left heel up, right heel up, sorry. So you're in your low lunge, planting the right hand, lifting the left for a twist. Really feel yourself twisting from your mid back here. You want your hips to remain nice and even. One more breath in. Exhale, bring your hands down to frame your foot. Step your foot back, high plank, high to low. Maybe this time you come into an up dog, keeping your hips and thighs off the mat. Whatever you're comfortable with, pausing for a breath wherever you need one. And we'll meet in down dog. Nice work. And actually, we're gonna meet in child's pose for a minute. So dropping your knees, bringing your knees nice and wide, toes come to touch, sitting back toward your heels, reaching your hands forward. Allow your forehead to come down toward the mat. We'll stay here for a few rounds of breath. So if you need a drink or anything like that, we'll take a quick little break. Start reconnecting to the earth here. Feeling your forehead melting into the ground. See if you can direct your breath into your low belly again. And from here, you're gonna, as if you were drawing a line with your nose toward the front of your mat, you're gonna crawl toward the front of your mat so you're on your belly again. And we're gonna find our Sphinx pose. So dropping your elbows where your hands once were. As if, so bringing your hands to touch your elbows, that's about what your distance should be. And then bringing your hands out in front of you, opening your fingers up wide so that your hands are making the number 11. And then as if you're pulling your mat towards you, use this to open your heart, to drop your shoulder blades down. The tops of your feet are pressing firmly into the mat here. And just feel the opening in your spine. Start to slow down your breath. And then maybe you bend your right knee, looking over your left shoulder. Bend your left knee, looking over your right shoulder. Opposite knee, opposite shoulder a couple times. And then finding some stillness once more in your Sphinx pose. And then lowering down, make a little pillow with your hands and bend both your knees this time and just windshield wiper side to side. Releasing the hips a little bit. Okay, finding some stillness. We're gonna bring our hands back underneath our shoulders, pushing up through plank or through tabletop, meeting back in down dog. Take a big breath in. On the exhale, bend your knees, look forward, hop, step, or jump to the front of your mat. Come into a forward fold. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rooting down and rising all the way up. Exhale, hands to your heart. And we're gonna move into a short little balance segment. I would be remiss if I didn't take this opportunity to make you move into a Christmas tree. So we're gonna do Christmas tree pose today. So find your mountain pose, your feet are hips width distance, toes are pointing forward, maybe a tiny little bend in the knees. Palms can shine forward, dropping your shoulders back and down. Take a breath here and find something to look at in front of you that's not moving, your drishti, so that you can focus your attention and decide, maybe sway side to side a little bit and decide which side you want to work on first. I'm going to shift my weight into my left foot. And maybe you just start by kickstanding your other foot right on your ankle. So this might be where your practice is today, and that's beautiful. You already look like a Christmas tree. Maybe you bring your foot up to your inner calf, or maybe it comes all the way up to your inner thigh. Just make sure we're not putting the foot on the knee, because that can be really dangerous for our knee. So again, we're engaging the core here, long and tall in the spine. Try to even out those hips. And maybe you're swaying a little bit. Maybe you have like a cat attacking your Christmas tree, which is common for several of us here, I know. And maybe you grow your branches, bringing your hands up overhead, if that feels good. Again, maybe you're swaying. Here it's really rainy and windy, so maybe you're catching some wind. And if you fall, you can always grow your roots again. One more breath here. And exhale, nice and slow release. Shake it out. What's done is gone. Good work. All right, let's do the other side. So starting in that mountain pose, shifting your weight into your opposite foot this time. Maybe you even lift up your toes and then gently place them back down. So all four corners of your foot are connected to the ground. Maybe you start with that kickstand, or you could bring your foot up to your inner calf or your inner thigh. Notice if any frustration or annoyance comes up. Notice any differences from side to side. Maybe your hands come to your heart, or maybe you grow your branches here. And turn on your lights, shine that smile like a brilliant, beautiful Christmas tree in all of its glory on Christmas Day, full of presents. Think about what presents you have to offer the planet, to offer your friends and family today. One more big breath in. And exhale, release, shake it off. Nice work. Good job, everybody. All right, we're gonna make our way back to the mats, back to the ground. So we'll inhale, lift up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, plant your hands, step back into your high plank. We'll meet in down dog. You can skip the vinyasa if you want, or you can lower down halfway, coming into your cobra or your up dog. And exhale, down dog. Okay, lifting the right leg. We're gonna bring our knee in toward our right wrist, bringing your ankle toward your left wrist, coming into pigeon pose here. And if this is too much, you can flip over and do this on your back as a figure 4 pose. So crossing your knee over your ankle and lifting the left leg in. So we want to get a nice hip stretch here. So if you're still in pigeon, draw your right hip back, bringing your left hip forward so that they're nice and even. Take an inhale, opening your heart, and then exhale, maybe you start to fold forward. You can also put a block or a pillow underneath your right hip for a little extra support. That'll kind of help you be able to release a little bit more. So we're gonna stay here for about 10 rounds of breath. I'm gonna send a little distance Reiki while you're doing this. So just try to notice your breath, notice any thoughts that come up, clear your mind. And try to keep breathing into your right hip to open and release it. Notice where your mind has gone. See if you can bring your mind's eye to the base of your spine and just observe. How does your spine feel here? See if you can picture yourself crawling all the way up the spine, up the neck, up the back of the head to the crown of the head. One nice long line. And if your hands are down and you're stretched out here, start to walk yourself back up. One nice big stretch. And then we're gonna shift the weight onto the right hip. I'm gonna turn so you can see me and bring the left leg around and over for our cow face pose. So you're trying to get your knees nice and stacked here. And again, this can be a really good place, like even if you put a pillow between your knees or under your bottom knee, your right knee, that can be supportive here too. So bringing your knees as close as you can get them, grounding through the spine, finding that length, engaging the low ribs. Take a couple breaths here. And then one more forward fold here. So this is where the slide and glide can be really nice. So just notice as your outer hip, your outer thigh starts to open here, your upper glute. Take a few deep breaths. Bowing your head. And then as we inhale, come on up. Uncrossing the legs, coming back to tabletop and finding a down dog. Last down dog of our practice. Nice pause here, stretch it out. And then lifting the left leg, drawing your left knee towards your left wrist. Left ankle comes toward right wrist. Scooting yourself back and finding your pigeon pose on this side. However it may look, or flipping onto your back for a figure four. Inhale, opening the heart, feeling that stretch through the hip flexor. And exhale, folding down into a sleeping pigeon. Feeling the Reiki that I'm sending out. Maybe you feel a little warmth, a little extra support. Watching your breath, sending it right into your left hip to allow the hip to open. Softening your face and the space between your eyebrows, allowing all the little muscles in your eyes to soften. And on your next inhalation, slowly start to bring yourself back up, walking your hands so you're up, stretching your front body here. Shift your weight onto your left hip, bringing that right leg around and over. So we're stacking our knees once more. Getting a blocker, a pillow for support if you need it. Inhale, sitting up nice and tall. And then exhale, coming into a forward fold. Letting everything let go. Trying to feel both of your hips sinking evenly into the ground. Observing maybe one side is tighter than the other. That's definitely the case for me. And then inhale, coming back up. And then bringing your feet to plant on your mat. Maybe grabbing behind your knees and nice and slow, engage your core and lower yourself onto your back here. So keeping your feet planted, so knees are bent. Grabbing your strap one more time. And if you have a loop on it, or if you're able to make a loop, we're gonna lift the right leg and just put the loop right around the top of the right foot and extend your foot upward for a nice back of the leg opener. Keep your knee as bent as you need to. And as you're holding the strap, allow your shoulders to relax. Feel your hips evenly melting into the mat. Your heart is open. Any place you're feeling tension or any straining, just notice that and maybe back off. Give a little kindness to yourself. There's nowhere you have to go, nothing you have to do right now, no place you have to make your pose. And then maybe you bring your right foot a little over to the left. See what that does for you. Opening up those IT bands. Take one more deep breath into your low belly. And then bringing your foot back through center. Releasing your strap so we can go to the other side. So putting the strap around the left foot this time. Extending the left foot upward toward the sky. Relaxing the shoulders down your back. As you feel the back of your leg opening, maybe you can straighten your knee a little bit more or draw your foot towards you. And then maybe you bring the left foot toward the right side of your mat. Notice what that does for your shoulders, for your jaw. Notice if you need to back off at all. One more deep breath. Exhale back through center and release the strap. Move that off to the side. And we'll just move into one bridge pose here to do a little hip opening. So planting your hands next to you, feet are still planted. And if you reach back, you should be able to touch the backs of your heels here. So firmly pressing into the heels, you're gonna lift your hips up, try to keep your knees up right above your ankles, hips width distance. And try to bring your chest toward the sky and your chin away from your chest. Notice maybe you engage the glutes and then release them, and notice how that opens up your back. One more breath here. And then exhale, release. Drawing your knees in toward your chest. Give yourself a nice little squeeze. Maybe you bring your forehead up to your knees. coming into a little ball. And then lifting both legs high toward the sky. We'll reverse the flow here, finding legs up the wall. If you have a wall close by, it could be really lovely to actually scoot yourself over and draw your legs all the way up the wall. Or if you have a pillow or a block, you could nestle that right under your tailbone to get a little height on your hips here. We're gonna be here for about 15 rounds of breath to really cleanse out our system, help our circulation, get all of our digestive processes working for our feast later, if anybody's having a nice feast. And one more time, bring your attention back to your breath. So we'll do this for Shavasana. If you'd like to extend your legs down, removing any block and coming into a more traditional Shavasana, you may. Whatever works in your body, but sometimes I like to do my legs up the wall for Shavasana, so it's up to you. Wherever you are, notice the tips of your toes, relaxing your feet and your ankles, drawing your attention up your legs to your calves, your shins and your knees, feeling them surrounded by love and support for all the support they give to you. Moving up your thighs and your hips, relaxing them. Feeling your root chakra connected to the earth, grounding you, plugging you into our planet, connecting you with every living thing. Feeling your sacral chakra shining this brilliant orange like the sun, supporting your creativity, your life force energy. Moving up to your solar plexus, right above your belly button. Feeling all this strength and courage that you have there. Moving up to your heart, filling your heart with so much joy and gratitude. Releasing your shoulders. Feeling your throat chakra opening, encouraging you to speak your truth and tell people how you feel about them today. Moving up to your third eye, your center of knowledge and intuition. Seeing clearly. And then up to your crown chakra, the top of your head, connecting you to the cosmos above us. Feeling like you're being guided and supported on your journey. And if your legs are still up, you can bring your feet down to the mat. Start to wiggle your fingers and toes, maybe moving your hips side to side a little bit. And then choosing a side to roll over onto when you feel ready. Pausing here in a fetal position, give yourself a nice little squeeze. Show yourself some love for getting on your mat today. And whenever you feel ready, we'll meet back up in a seated position. You can bring your hands to your heart. Bring to mind the intention you set for your practice this morning. Notice if maybe it's a little more clear now. We'll take one deep breath in together. Big breath out. We'll bring our thumb knuckles up to our third eye, between our forehead. Lift our gaze to salute the universe above us, the planets, the moon, the stars. And then we bow to each other and we bow to our Mother Earth. I bow to each of you. Thank you so much for sharing this practice this morning. This was so special to see all of you, and it brought me so much joy. So the light within me